It felt like a huge moment for the government yesterday with the asylum reforms. And were you proud to be part of the government?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're speaking to voters on the doorstep, we all see, opinion surveys. This is a very significant issue for the public. We've seen the damage that it's caused to community cohesion, particularly in areas around asylum hotels, where the previous government chose as a matter of policy to stop processing applications and then put people in hotels, in some cases for years on end. Now, we can't go on with that situation. So we've taken action already, like the returns agreement with France, but we need to go further. And yesterday, the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, laid out the approach that the Labour government will take to dealing with this problem, but in a way that respects the fair and tolerant nature of this country.
Because I guess some Labour MPs think that it doesn't respect the fair and tolerant nature of this country. Tony Vaughan, the rhetoric around these reforms encourages the same culture of divisiveness that sees racism and abuse growing in our countries. Stella Creasy, this is not just performatively cruel, it's economically misjudged. Nadia Whittome, the reforms are wrong on every level. What's your message to them? Should they just go and join the Greens?
Oh, absolutely not. But, every single one of us who is a Labour MP was elected on the same manifesto. And that manifesto committed us now as a government to securing our borders. It's very important that we do that. The British people expect us to do that. But we also have to end this vile trade in human lives. We are seeing traffickers who are persuading sometimes very vulnerable people to get on boats on the beaches of France and risk their lives coming across the English channel into the UK. We can't accept the level of danger and risk that is happening there. We've all seen some of those boats capsize, and we know what the results of that are. We need more safe routes that people can take to come into this country when they have a legitimate case to be here. But we have to take action to stop this trade by the traffickers in human lives.
I'm keen to talk about house building, because I feel like this is one of these issues that affects absolutely everything, and we don't talk about it enough, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you want to fast-track planning applications near stations. Why near stations?
That's right. Well, first of all, the reason people are interested in this subject is because we have a housing crisis in this country. When I was coming into your studio this morning, we drove past shops and there are people lying in the shop doorways and it's freezing cold out there last night. Young people in their 30s now will routinely be living with their parents. It wasn't the case when I was younger. You could afford somewhere of your own to rent or to buy, and to too many younger people, that opportunity has been closed off because of the housing crisis. So we're looking at how we can support the development of housing in areas where people will want to live. Now, you've got stations around our great cities and towns where there are job opportunities available. You've got stations where you can build housing, the public transport is already in place, and you can develop communities there. So we want councils, who are the decision makers here, to support developers, get those homes built, build the new communities and give people somewhere that they can afford to live.
Can I ask you, what is going on with house building in London? It's got the slowest building rate in the country, only 4,000 new homes built last year, and most of them got planning permission under Boris Johnson. Have you gone and had a word with Sadiq Khan?
Well, Sadiq Khan and I jointly a couple of weeks ago announced a housing package to stimulate house building in London.
I'm interested in how that happened. Did you go in and say to Sadiq Khan, look at these figures, we need to come up with a plan here, you're not doing well enough?
No. Sadiq and I speak regularly, and Sadiq wanted the government to work with him on a stimulus package, and I felt exactly the same, because what happened was in 23-24, so it was under the previous government, house building fell off a cliff.
Yeah, but it's just
in London. The units that were being built suddenly reduced, and it's because of an increase in costs. So the cost of labour, the cost of materials,
and some of the
concrete and
red
steel.
tape that was in place
and some
as well,
of the red
right?
tape,
Because that's what you tried to strip away. So part of it is to blame on.
Well, some of it is red tape. So the bits that I can't affect the global prices of materials. I can take away some of the costs that are associated with unnecessary red tape.
Everyone's affected by the same prices of materials. The point is, there's a specific problem in London under Sadiq Khan. Do you accept that?
No. What there was too much red tape under the previous government, and in London, where the costs of labour are higher, then added to the other materials costs, it meant that house house building fell off a cliff. So we've put in place a stimulus package that will see house building increase in London. Now we need to look beyond London as well, and you've got stations, which are very sensible locations to build housing because the public transport is already there. So you don't have to wait for the investment to get that infrastructure put in.
Can I ask you about ticket prices?
Yeah.
Because we're expecting some kind of announcement tomorrow about stopping people effectively reselling tickets.
Ticket touts, yeah.
Ticket touts, exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
making money from it. And I know you're probably slightly limited of what you can say, but it feels like the government is moving in that direction. Is that something
Yes.
you welcome? I don't know if you're a kind of gig fan yourself or...
Well, I go to the occasional. But, you know, there's a big problem with, you know, ticket touts buying tickets in bulk and then increasing the prices and selling them on to people. This government is committed to ending that. We launched a consultation last year. We've got the results of that coming through, and it's actually my colleagues Peter Kyle and Lisa Nandy, the Business and Culture Secretaries, who will respond on the part of the government. But we are committed to ending the scandal of ticket touts inflating the prices that people pay to go and watch a favourite band or a gig.
Yeah, are you looking forward to getting cheaper tickets for anyone in particular, or a couple of sports games you want to see? I don't know.
I'm off to the theatre this weekend, but we just paid the normal price through the normal route.
There you go. Thank you very much, Steve Reed,
to see you.
speaking to us there.